courtrooms are where justice meets drama, but when Karens are involved, things escalate to the next level. Prepare for jaw-dropping moments as we reveal outrageous Karens and their unbelievable punishments. Number 20. 42-year-old Stephanie Rivkowski was in Berea, Ohio court for theft. Hoping to avoid jail, she was devastated when Judge Comstock sentenced her to 6 months. As a last-ditch effort, this Karen tried a bold escape. She dashed from the courtroom, knocking over Bailiff Bedford with her car in the process. After 11 days on the run, she was caught and slapped with charges of escape, assault, and resisting arrest. However, her original sentence remained unchanged. Number 19. A defiant male Karen faces a judge for skipping court. Dismissing legal help, he curses the judge repeatedly. For every outburst, the judge calmly adds 30 days to his jail sentence. Instead of backing down, the individual's insults escalate, resulting in nearly a year behind bars. This dramatic courtroom exchange showcases a brazen disrespect for law met with a judge's firm resolve to maintain order. Number 18. In court, a Karen man disputes his charge. Told he won't be released, he swears at the judge. Called back, he hurls another insult. When given chances to explain, he only questions his charge. The judge, staying calm, adds 60 days jail time for each outburst. Despite multiple opportunities, the man's defiance earns him 120 days behind bars, highlighting the tension between individual arrogance and legal protocols. Number 17. In a Zoom courtroom, Karen Joseph Fuchek from prison faced his victim Dwayne Nguyen. Fuchek was recorded in June waving a gun and hurling racist and homophobic insults at Nguyen over a mailbox flyer. During the hearing, Nguyen testified about the ordeal while Fuchek stayed silent. The judge said Fuchek's bond at $35,000 with house arrest conditions if posted. Number 16. In court over drug possessions, Karen Soto flippantly discussed selling her jewelry for bail. After receiving lenient terms, she smirked and said, "Bye-bye," and flipped off the judge. Reacting swiftly, the judge increased her bail to $10,000 and sentenced her to 30 days in jail. Days later, after a sincere apology, her sentence was revoked. A year on, after completing a court-ordered drug program, her charges were dropped. Lessons learned? Respect the courtroom. Number 15. In Detroit's Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, Amanda Kosal faced sentencing for a DUI crash that killed one and injured another. Amid emotional impact statements, Amanda's mother, a typical Karen, Donna, laughed inappropriately. Outraged, the judge sentenced Donna to 93 days in jail for contempt. After spending a night in jail, a remorseful Donna returned, apologizing profusely. Recognizing her genuine regret, the judge reduced her time to 1 day served. At the same time, Amanda got 3 to 15 years, but was paroled after 3. Number 14. In 2018, Karen Bryan faced court for robbery and kidnapping. During sentencing, he exploded at the judge, claiming racism and shouting expletives. The judge, unimpressed, extended his sentence due to the outburst. Initially sentenced to 22 years, his rant bumped it up to 28 years. However, the Ohio Supreme Court later reversed the added 6 years, returning his sentence to the original 22 years. Number 13. In Newport, Oregon, Scott Patrick Lemon, at his hearing, faced charges of a home invasion. Deputies wanted electronic restraints, fearing Lemon might act up, but the judge declined. Suddenly, Lemon lunged at an officer, seemingly trying to snatch the officer's weapon. Swiftly subdued, an escape attempt was added to his charges. The outrageous Karen received a minimum of 7 years in prison for his audacity. Number 12. In Pike, Mississippi, Sidney Newsom turned Karen during his domestic violence hearing. He went from arguing with Judge Aubrey Rimes to throwing papers and a telephone at him, even wrecking a computer. Judge Rimes didn't wait for backup. He tackled Newsom himself until more officers helped. Newsom's tantrum earned him a contempt of court charge and an extra 48 hours behind bars. Number 11. 20-year-old Spencer Boston lit a marijuana joint in court while facing related charges. Disagreeing with the cannabis laws, he made a scene to challenge them. The judge, upholding the current laws, didn't entertain Boston's protest. Quickly, he was taken out by court officers. For his bold act, Boston got slapped with more charges, disorderly conduct, and an extra count of possession. His Karen moment landed him 10 days in jail. Number 10. In Whaling, Australia, 25-year-old Jesse Rose, turning Karen, was caught on video assaulting a security guard after misbehaving at a pub. Despite his lawyer's plea for leniency, Judge Andrew Hassler sentenced him to 14 months in jail. Unhappy, Rose, channeling his rugby spirit, kicked open a door and hurled 2 heavy office chairs at guards. For his courtroom meltdown, Rose faced additional charges, earning him an extra 8 months, making Karen total jail time 22 months. Number 9. Karen Michael Ray, facing charges like trespassing and assault, laughed when his $25,000 bail was announced. The unimpressed judge doubled it to $50,000. As Ray left, he insulted the judge and showed her the middle finger. Each act of disrespect added more jail time. Within 3 minutes, what started as 4 charges escalated to 10. Ray's attitude landed him a whopping 100 days in jail. Number 8. In Jackson, Michigan, Jacob Larson, labeled a Karen, faced court for violating a restraining order by harassing a former high school mate through Facebook. Previously warned by the same judge, his defiance escalated his sentence. Initially sentenced to 3 days, Larson's backtalk saw his punishment jump from 45 days to a year in county jail. After a struggle in court, the judge settled on 93 days. The audacious Karen's behavior led to a jaw-dropping punishment. Number 7. 36-year-old Alan McCarty made a scene in court, yelling insults and disrupting his trial. Upset over a past custody case, he was on trial for threatening a judge and dispatchers. Ignoring court etiquette, he wore his jail suit, screamed at everyone, and even had to be moved to another room for his tantrums. Still yelling about violated rights, McCarty now risks a whopping 40 years in prison. Number 6. At a bond hearing, Karen Christopher Berger Colin challenged the judge, defiantly hurling expletives and demanding a reduced bond. Despite being called back for civility, Colin continued his aggressive tirade. The judge, unmoved, set a hefty bond and added a GPS monitoring condition. But the real shocker? After Colin's continued disrespect and lack of defense for his outburst, the judge slapped him with 364 days in jail for contempt, a lesson in respecting the courtroom. Number 5. 17-year-old Donta Wright smirked in court while being sentenced for Jordan Clee's murder. During a heart-wrenching statement by Jordan's family, Wright nonchalantly claimed he'd be home soon. Outraged by Wright's Karen attitude, the judge considered rejecting the plea deal, which would risk a life sentence for Wright. After consulting the victim's family, who wanted closure, the judge sentenced Wright to 25 to 52 years in prison. Number 4. In Elyria, Ohio, Ebony Burks, dubbed a Karen, had a tumultuous bond hearing after being charged with assaulting her grandfather. Judge Bennett ordered a no-contact rule and told her she couldn't return home. Fuming, Burks defiantly retaliated. Initially receiving 30 days for contempt, her continued outburst raised it to 300 days. She served 88 days, the longest contempt sentence Judge Bennett ever imposed. Additionally, she had to join a substance abuse program. The audacious Karen's actions led to severe consequences. Number 3. Bryce Rhodes of Louisville faces a triple murder trial and has turned into a courtroom Karen. He's done everything from blowing kisses to victims' families to spitting on his lawyer, earning him a spit mask. He even claimed the judge was in cahoots with the prosecution. His wild antics and frequently firing lawyers have dragged the trial out, but his cheeky smiles won't likely save him from his grave charges. Number 2. Bass Webb, a Karen from Paris, Kentucky, escalated his courtroom drama from spitting at the judge to flaunting a tattooed hit list on his head. Initially in for attempted murder and injuring a prison employee, his disrespect grew with added convictions, including 2 girlfriend murders. First, 37 years, and then an added 50, and finally, life imprisonment, with a chance at parole after 25 years. All the while, Webb remained defiant and unapologetic. Number 1. In Portland, Oregon, Jeremy Christian, taking the role of an aggressive Karen, launched a racial tirade on a train, resulting in the fatal stabbing of 2 men and injuring another. Caught a mile from the crime scene, he was found guilty of 2 counts of murder and attempted murder. During sentencing, he exploded with an offensive outburst. The judge gave him 2 consecutive life sentences plus 25 years for other convictions, a jaw-dropping punishment for the volatile Karen. From wild outbursts to shocking defiance, these Karens certainly left their mark in the courtroom. Which jaw-dropping moment stunned you the most? Let us know in the comments below.